Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 60 Podcast. I am your host, Walker. This is my co host, Jordan.
What's up? Got a bagel.
What an intro. All right. So, typical stuff. We're going to come at you with a little college football talk, little NFL talk, kind of talk about what's going on in both worlds and kind of like, whatever happened last week and what's going to happen this week. Here's the twist. We're going to start with NFL first. We're going to end with a bang today when we're talking about college football and the national championship. So usually do NFL second, but we're going to start off first. So looking back, NFL Week 17 recap. I'm going to pick a couple of the games that I want to highlight. And then we're going to talk about, obviously last week is the last week of the NFL season, Week 18. And we're going to start looking at basically all the remaining playoff scenarios. So first game I wanted to talk about was Big Ben's last game, at least last game at Heinz Field. I don't know, nothing too memorable about this one. TJ Watt had a couple of sacks. He looked really good, or 4 sacks actually. I feel like the game's probably going to be best known for, or when I think of the game, I just think of that run Najee Harris hit at the very end, kind of running the clock out, which was a good run. I saw something that Big Ben, like that was the lowest amount of passing yards or something anyone's ever had that had like over 40 attempts, something like that. So that was a little rough, but
the first half of that game, and they showed the first half stats, and it's like Big Ben 40 passes in the first half,
like 100 yards.
I was like, what? And
Yeah,
6 of them.
Yeah, I don't even know it was up there. Nothing too much more to say about that game other than I don't know. The Browns really collapsed too. Like, come on, they kind of came into the year. I feel like a lot of people were saying, Super Bowl.
Definitely the biggest disappointment in the NFL.
And they came in last in their division.
Biggest disappointment in the NFL. I don't think even close. Personally,
I definitely agree. They have way too much talent on that roster to, I don't know, perform like that. Baker's look kind of awful, but then there's the whole thing about him being injured. He has a torn labrum or whatever, so he can't throw. And I'm like, why are you even playing then?
He gone.
I think so too. He's in a contract year, right? Or is he in his 4th year?
No, he's in a contract year. I think. I'm pretty sure he is. He definitely
I just think with first round rookies, they get the 5th year. So I don't remember if he's in his 4th or 5th.
Well, he definitely isn't going to resign. He would have been resigned by now.
I think they were kind of like they were going to play and figure out, if they wanted to. I've heard there's a conspiracy going around that like, sorry, the coach and the management doesn't like Baker and that they like basically are forcing him to play hurt so that he looks bad so that they don't have to re-sign him because they could be like, it's on the tape. You're terrible, basically.
Do you think Baker would say yes? I mean, you still have to go like do it. He could pull an AB, which is in your background, and just leave. Say no.
I don't think you do that. I don't know. I think if you're the Browns, you probably just trade him before he you either got to trade him or cut him if you're not going to pay him, right?
Try to put him in a package deal for Deshaun Watson, maybe.
See, yeah, there's just something. I definitely think Baker's still probably a starter in the NFL. So
not winning Super Bowl.
Right, but I mean, I still think, like I said, he's a starter, so he'll get a job somewhere.
Capable, I think he's average, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. He's just not, he's not elite.
He was terrible. Anyway. He was terrible.
Not much more to say about that one.
Straight incompletions at one point or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's obvious he's not either healthy or not in his right mindset right now. I don't know. Something's up.
I would say pick but he sucks too.
Who?
Sammy D. I would have said, they should have picked him. Nah.
Yeah, and then Josh Allen went after all them. So
I'm just thinking about, I know, but I was just thinking about back then. Josh Allen was still looked at like the biggest bust.
That's very true. After even
I
2 years,
I think
after a year and a half.
but the best quarterback in that class. I'd say he's better than Lamar right now.
Yeah. Next game, nothing much to say about this one. Packers beating the Vikings 37-10. Kirk Cousins, unvaccinated, don't want to get too much into this, but gets COVID and can't play. So Vikings basically forfeited that game.
Aaron Rodgers MVP? Question mark.
See, I don't think we've discussed this, or have we? I think there's the whole thing going around about that one dude who said, like, Aaron Rodgers, like, essentially he said he wouldn't vote for him for MVP because he just like didn't like him. He's like, he's a jerk. I would never vote for that guy. And I'm like,
Aaron
okay.
said this. He said the guy just hates me because I'm unvaccinated, which is probably.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's a Chicago writer right after that.
right. Yeah, he was kind of getting blasted. I will admit, like, Aaron Rodgers is kind of a jerk. I don't think he's as bad as like people say. You know what I mean? Like,
say that. Like he's not as bad as everyone says he is.
No, but yeah, he's definitely arrogant. I feel like.
Yeah, that's a better word for it.
But that being said, I think the MVP should belong to the best player. I mean, it shouldn't matter anything else. You know what I mean?
He could end up being like top 3 in like passing touchdowns, passing yards, completion percentage, and then passing yards per game. That's insane.
Yeah,
100K bonus for that.
Yeah, I've heard people saying Burrow might sneak in there.
Burrow will finish second, I think, and then Tom, and then no, actually, I think Jonathan Taylor should be second. Burrow, Brady 4.
I like Burrow. I mean,
I like him.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say it's not just like stats, right? But if you're looking at like the actual name of the award, the most valuable player, it's kind of like, think about your situation you're in. Like, think about the Bengals team, you know, compared to like, I don't know, team like the Packers or the Bucks. You're kind of like, this team's not as good. I mean, other than, you know, Bengals wide receivers, but it's kind of like,
and running back.
I mean, they were like, whatever. They were the first overall pick literally last year when they took Burrow. So it's like, to go from that to division winners and having what, a 5,000 yard passer with like almost 40 touchdowns. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If you hear all the time, I think that's on Pat McAfee. They blast the Bengals for being like the only team without an indoor practice facility. So they're kind of like, this guy's practicing outside.
Also in the cold in Ohio.
Exactly. I mean, like I said, if you think about the things he's also overcoming, I like Burrow, but also, you know, it's a stats award. Whoever has the best stats, just like the Heisman.
Yeah, I got you. But Aaron's just been having like an all-time season. This might be his best year statistically.
Yeah, I mean, he has like what?
You kind of gotta give it to him. He's just having an insane year.
It's just another one of those Aaron years. He has 30-something touchdowns and like less than 5 picks. I think he has 4 picks. It's like, how do you do that? Anyway.
I kind of hope the Packers win the Super Bowl, just so Aaron can give him like the middle finger when he heads out.
Yeah.
Speaking of like kind of like Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers next year.
Ooh, well, you heard it. You heard it here first.
That's my prediction. Mark it down. Aaron Rodgers.
I remember that game. Was that last year or was that at the beginning of this year when the Packers played the Steelers and like Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers like winked at each other or something? It was really kind of weird, but
I don't know.
I remember it made the news. Anyway, moving on. Cardinals beating the Cowboys in Jerry World.
Little preview, maybe.
The what?
Little preview of the playoff.
Oh yeah, this could easily be a playoff preview, especially because what did they say? I don't remember. Was it because the Cowboys got knocked down or something? I don't know. I don't pay attention to the seeding until it's final. It doesn't matter until next week. So
are the Cowboys frauds? Are you nervous if you're a Cowboy fan? I'll ask you that. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do think I think this Dallas team is a lot more talented than they have been in years past.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I feel like that Cowboys are just always overhyped, in my opinion, just because they're America's team and whatnot. They get, I think, a disproportionate amount of media coverage. But I don't know. I think they're actually pretty good this year.
Do you think Super Bowl contenders? Do you think they're that good?
Yeah, I'd say they're contenders, but I mean,
You
I
think
think the NFC is very
they're in
the
that?
NFC is very competitive. I could see any of those top like 4 or 5
So
teams.
you think they're like in tier one?
No, I put them right below. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's like a big dip. Honestly, I put probably the Packers, and then it depends. If the Rams are like, the Rams have been so weird.
They have
Like the Rams have been really sus the past couple weeks. And
won 5 straight, but it's all been
What?
like they've won 5 straight, but it's all
Yeah, but it's been like really ugly, and you're kind of like, what's going on?
they're winning.
Like Matt Stafford throws 3 interceptions and they still win.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're winning, but it's like, they haven't looked that good doing it.
I agree. Yeah. So I was gonna say, I feel like if the Rams are playing their peak, like I'd probably put them in that top tier too. But as of right now, I don't know. I
Mhm.
feel like everyone has their pros and cons in the NFC. All those top teams, like I think, could all beat each other. They could all also win the Super Bowl very easily. It just like depends on who gets hot. So
Mhm. Cardinals are
that
doing.
being said, I think the Cowboys have a good a shot as anyone. I mean, the Cardinals have looked kind of not great the past couple weeks too. So we'll have to see.
Hunt's coming back for the Cardinals.
Anyway. Oh, and then the whole thing about I guess the narrative about Kyler Murray,
What's that?
who has never lost a game in Jerry World.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And also I mean, he's came out and said before that the Cowboys are bums, basically.
Yeah, he's not a
He's
Cowboy.
like, I grew up in Texas and I hate the Cowboys. They suck. And I was like, dang.
That's kind of
So,
funny.
I kind of love it though. I respect it.
I like it too. It's kind of funny. It's a little fan in him.
Exactly. Next game, Seahawks Lions. I'm not even gonna talk about this one other than
Why would he even bring that up?
just because I'm scrolling through them in order. Sorry.
Oh,
Seahawks did hang 50 on them,
question
but too late.
like relating to that game. Is the Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll, they both gone?
Probably.
I think so too.
I mean, you could try. I heard, what was it? I think it was on Colin Coward. He said you try to trade Russell Wilson to the Giants or somebody for
We're the same.
Daniel Jones and like, I don't know, 3 first-round picks. And I'm like, I mean,
Too. I think he would rather go to the Saints.
who? Russ? You're probably right. I honestly, the Giants are a team I think they have some sneaky talent on that roster. I think they just really need a good quarterback to
Lawrence and a few and some picks for Russ, maybe
who?
for Russ. With the
Did you say Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, they're just
Oh God, no.
they're just like screw this. Let's go get Russ.
I don't think so. You got to ride that one out.
Well, you're saying they have sneaky talent. They thought they were like good enough, but I guess they're not.
No, I was talking about the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. I thought you said the Jags. Yeah,
No,
I agree with that. They definitely could.
yeah, I think our audio is cutting out a little bit. So sorry for the listeners if we're a little glitchy. I can only what?
Mine didn't glitch.
Oh, I'm having trouble hearing you a little bit. It is what it is. Chargers beating the Broncos. That was a must win, I think. And now they're back in the playoff hunt for week 18. We'll talk about that later. 49ers, Texans. Normally wouldn't talk about this one, but Trey Lance got to start and he looked pretty good. I mean, they were playing the Texans, but that's about all I have to say about that game is that watch out there. And then it comes the question, if the 49ers end up making the playoffs, we got to think about it. Who are they going to start?
That's the question this week because it is basically a playoff game.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. There's a big debate right now. I feel like Jimmy G's obviously your safer option.
feel like they're gonna go with Jimmy G. Unless
Yeah, I think
Trey Lance just lights up the Rams, I think they go with Jimmy G.
yeah, I definitely think so too.
It's the playoffs. It's a whole different game. You can't have the dudes like third start of the year being in the playoffs against a top team. They're gonna if they get in, they're gonna play a top seeded
But,
team.
but conversely, the other team doesn't have a lot of tape on Trey Lance, right? So like, what if you just come in, you've been working with Trey Lance all year, you have this cool package, almost like, I don't even know, Kaepernick coming in when he was running the read option for the 49ers. And it's kind of like, they don't, I guess he was doing that all year, but still, it's kind of like,
Depends. I say it depends how he does against the Rams.
yeah, I definitely agree. I think it probably should be Jimmy G and it will be Jimmy G, but I think Jimmy G's probably not going to be there next year.
No, 100% no.
Panthers Saints, literally not going to say a word about that game. I don't even care. Eagles Washington. I don't know. I mean, Eagles clinched a playoff spot.
How did that
but
happen? I don't think they're good.
Because they played the Giants twice and played Washington twice for 4 of their 8 or 9 wins.
I will say this. They're losing first round. I don't care who they play.
Yeah, basically. Well, that's the other thing, though, is that did you know the Eagles have the best rushing offense right now?
Because all they do is run.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're good at it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't respect them.
I don't really either. But I mean, like I said, I guess I haven't said this before.
I feel like there's a lot of those times of a team not being too good in the regular season. You just think they made the playoffs, and then they end up giving a team that they play against a game. I would say they would give somebody a game if they were at home, but
yeah,
they're not going to be. So I don't know. But
yeah, they're gonna throw them against, they're gonna get fed to the Tom Brady Buccaneers or the Rams or something, and it's just, yeah, whatever. Rams and Ravens. We kind of talked about this earlier, but geez, both of these teams, even though the Rams you said have won like 5 in a row, they don't look good to me.
No, I agree.
Especially for their talent level. But they still beat the Ravens. The Ravens have looked kind of awful this year, even with Lamar in.
Yeah, having Lamar on your fantasy team, I know how bad they were. How about this? I think Cooper Kupp only like 140 yards away from beating Calvin Johnson's single season record. Also, I was going to mention this, but forgot when you said this. TJ Watt's like a sack away from breaking Michael Strahan's sack record in a year.
Yeah, I think he's 1.5, maybe. I think they said he had 20.5. I think the record's either 22 or 22.5. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. I just wonder, like, are any of these records, right, gonna have an asterisk next to it once they added another game?
No wonder everybody's getting close to being records. They got a whole nother game.
I was gonna say, I mean,
well, I guess it's impressive to be close to it anyways, but they could definitely beat them because there's an extra.
Right. I don't know. Like I said, or not like I said. Well, I say that way too much, guys. I'm sorry. It's my transition. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Moving on. We're gonna go to Bucks and Jets. Kind of has to go with my background. We got a lot to unravel here. Sorry, we're going a little slow. I might need to.
Well, we haven't talked to each other about NFL yet, so now there's kind of like.
Yeah, I know, but let's pick up the pace a little bit. Okay. I might skip a couple of these next games. Bucks Jets. Geez, I don't even know what's the score on my background.
24-10.
Yeah, it was like that. And then I don't know, Bucks come back and win. Everyone thinks Tom Brady's a god, and I can't deal with it, guys. I can't. It's the Jets. Why were you losing in the first place? Anyway, yeah, big story from this game, obviously. Antonio Brown's situation. He storms off the field in the middle of the game. Everyone's like, what the heck is happening? He's posting stuff on, I don't even know, Twitter and Instagram. You want to recap? I'll let you take it away.
Oh, just the situation?
I
Um,
guess I feel like we could do a brief summary of it and then
okay. Basically,
explain our thoughts.
Antonio Brown told the coaches he was hurt or something like that, like his foot's messed up. They still wanted him to play it, or still made him play in the game. He ended up getting 100 yards before he left. He was having, I think he had like 100 yards at this point.
He had like 30, I thought.
Did he have 30? Why did I think maybe it's the game before he had 100?
Yeah, he had 100 last game. He had like 2 catches for 30 yards this game or something.
Either way, he just had 100 yards last week. My point still stands. And he said, "No, I'm hurt. I'm leaving," and he left. And then the Browns said, "Okay, you're cut." And then AB put on his Instagram text messages from Bruce Arians of AB saying he was hurt before and basically trying to prove his point. Then he called
They
out.
looked really weird though. Like it
Then he,
was like, hey, this is Bruce Arians. And then I was like, why is he texting you for it was the first ever text. And it was like, why is he texting you for the first time ever right before the week 17 game?
that's what I said.
It looks fake.
That's exactly what I said. And they showed text messages about with Tom Brady's trainer, which I didn't really understand that one because he said, "Hey, I think we should like take our separate ways. Can I get my money back?" And
And then yeah, oh yeah. And then the guy was like,
he was really
yeah, the guy was like, okay, tell me how I should pay you back. And then
he's like,
I don't know.
"I your luck on and off the field. I totally understand why you want to go to a different thing." And he's like, "Fuck this guy." He's like, "We're he's not giving me my money."
He was like, it was the fact that and then yeah, the people in the comments were like, it was the fact that he even had to ask for his money back. And I was like, what? I was like, that guy handled it the best way he possibly could. He was like, yeah, he was like literally saying, give me your cash app and I'll put the money back in your account, dude.
But
And
anyway,
then Antonio Brown was like, I don't even know what was going on there.
so I'm doing a little timeline here. But then he officially gets cut. Bruce Arians comes out and says that he was bitching about not getting the ball or whatever. Like he wanted the ball more, which makes more sense why he had 3 catches for 30 yards. But he still had 100 yards last week. But he was complaining about that. So they said, get out. That's why he was cut. Then AB went on the Full Send podcast and basically called out Tom Brady, called out Gronk, complained about this, complained about that. Yada, yada, yada. The Tom Brady one is the one that pissed me off the most. Dude got you a job twice.
Yeah.
Twice. And he's like, oh, why do I have to play for guaranteed money or whatever? Or like, earn my contract or whatever. It's because you've been an idiot. That's why. And they've like,
Yeah.
he's like, Tom Brady. Why is Tom Brady's not my friend? He only took me because I'm a good player. Really?
Yeah. I saw. Now, I don't when I say never mind. When I say I don't typically, I mean I basically don't ever agree with any of Skip Bayless's let me try to find it. Yeah, he tweeted, or Skip Bayless said, what did he say? He said, you say GM Tom Brady dictated that you were forced to take an incentive-laden prove-it deal. And he said, AB, you were a free agent. You could have signed anywhere. You took what Tampa offered because it was your only offer, and that was only thanks to Tom Brady. And I was kind of like, you're probably right.
100%.
I was like, why are you complaining about that? It was like, if you could have made more money, you would have. You took that job because Tom Brady was there, not for any of these other reasons. So I don't know what his problem is. He's literally crazy.
He's got a CTE because he was never too much of a drama queen like before, and then all of a sudden just explodes. Like at least like publicly, I would say.
I was gonna say maybe Tomlin just did a great job keeping that under wraps for years.
It's been insane. Maybe with Mike Tomlin, I don't know, but yeah, he's an idiot. And he's like, I'm the best wide receiver in the league. You're not who you were. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are better than you right now, but you're still making plays. He's still got talent. He's still a good player. Right. Which tells you how good he is.
Okay.
But he's just an idiot. I can't stand him. And right, like you said with the text, I don't believe that at all. Hey, this is
it's fake.
Yeah, like don't call out Tom Brady. That pisses me off.
All right, we're going lightning round now. Patriots Jaguars 50-10. Holy yikes. I don't even know what to say about that one. Jacksonville, they need a lot of help. Bills Falcons. This game was semi-competitive for like 3 quarters. We picked off Josh Allen like 3 times, and then I don't know. There's just some times where there's a player, right, that can take over a game when you're that good. Josh Allen's one of those players. There was nothing we could do about it. Kyle Pitts went over 1,000 yards. That's kind of cool.
And only 1 touchdown.
The whole season, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
To be fair, the Falcons don't score a lot of touchdowns. It was the same thing with Julio. So
weird looking stat. 1,000 yards, 1 touchdown.
Oh yeah, Julio did the same thing every year. He would have like 2,000 receiving yards and like 3 touchdowns. It is what it is. Bears Giants. Literally not going to talk about that game. Both teams are already both out of the postseason. So, maybe top 5, top 3 game of the year. Bengals Chiefs. Wow.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, we were talking about him earlier, just went wild. Jamar Chase with like almost 300 receiving yards. Dude I can't believe he's so good, like being 21, 22 years old. It's ridiculous.
I believe I thought he was a little suspect after the whole preseason thing.
Yeah, that was the other thing is he dropped like 9 passes or something like that in the preseason. Everyone was like, oh my God, they should have taken Penei Sewell.
He said he didn't know how to catch an NFL football.
And it was like, you took a whole, and he took a whole year off. So I was kind of like, you'd think you would have been practicing with the NFL ball, bro.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, I thought he was really good before the draft. And now, like, after all this stuff, I don't know. And he's just been insane.
Yeah, I mean, this game was just weird too. I remember I turned it off and started watching a different one because
Bengals or not the Bengals, the Chiefs.
Yeah, like Kansas City went up I remember they went up 14-0 like real easy. Like they scored on their first 2 drives and they made it look like it was nothing. And I was like, this is going to be real bad. And I just started watching something else. I honestly didn't know that they had won. I went back and looked. I was looking at the scores for the week and I was like, they won that game. And then I had to go back and watch the highlights, but that was crazy. Joe Burrow's thrown for like right under 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns over 2 games, no picks. That's crazy. I mean, like I said, we were talking about MVP race. I feel like that, obviously those 2 games catapulted him into that even category, but got to move on. Got a lot to talk about. Oof. Titans beating the Dolphins 34-3. Big yikes. The Dolphins winning 7? Dolphins winning 7 in a row. Everyone was saying, it was kind of fraudulent 7 wins because they were like, look at aside from Lamar Jackson, who has not had a good year, they were like, you haven't played a single, decent quarterback throughout that span.
Yeah.
But I don't even know. That was really bad. I think that was a must-win game for them too, right?
Probably. I don't know.
It says Tennessee got to clinched a playoff berth while simultaneously eliminating Miami. So I don't even know what the deal was there. And it was Ryan Tannehill playing his former team, but yeah, that was weird. And then Raiders Colts. This was a weird one. I feel like the Colts have been kind of hot recently, and the Raiders are so every single week. It's just weird. Like the Raiders will sometimes look good and sometimes look bad. Maybe that's just the NFL though. That's just what it is like being a middle of the pack team, I guess.
Yeah.
When you're the Raiders. But yeah, Colts have looked solid and they kind of needed that win, I feel like, and they lost. So whatever. But that is it for the recap. So now, like I said, lightning. Also, I have a cough drop, so sorry if I'm choking a little bit. We are going to look at playoff scenarios for next week. As of right now, the current playoff picture, we have six of the 7 NFC teams have clinched already. We have the Packers, we got the Rams, we got the Buccaneers, Cowboys, Cardinals, Niners, and Eagles. Wait, are the Niners in?
They just got to win, so yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, they're in. Or no, they're not in.
No. They're the ones that haven't clinched. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong list.
I thought you meant.
That was if the season ended right now, they would be in.
Yeah.
Sorry, the teams that have clinched are Green Bay, Rams, Tampa, Dallas, Arizona, and Philly. So there's one spot left.
Between
And then the AFC,
Saints, right?
do what?
Between the 49ers and the Saints, right?
I believe so, yes. Who else? Okay, AFC, 5 teams have clinched playoff berths. We got Tennessee, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo, and New England. And if the season ended right now, it looks like the Colts and the Chargers would be the 6 and 7. So we're going to talk about how we're clinching. So this is pretty easy. Like you just said, the race for that last spot is going to be between the Saints and the 49ers. So the Saints can win, or at least to get that spot, they have to win and the 49ers need to lose. So that's a little rough. And then the 49ers clinch if they win their game or if the Saints lose. And I know the Saints are playing the Falcons. So as a petty Falcons fan, that might be kind of fun to knock them out. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because that's the only thing we're playing for at this point. It looks like there's also a race for the NFC West title. So the Cardinals can get the NFC West if they win and the Rams lose. And then the Rams clinch if they win or the Cardinals lose. So
okay,
doesn't matter too much. Okay. The AFC playoffs is a little crazier. So we're going to dive in. Ravens can clinch a playoff spot if they win, the Colts lose, Chargers lose, and Dolphins lose.
that is possible.
It is. Colts will clinch if they win the game, or if the Steelers lose, Chargers lose, and the Dolphins win. This is getting crazy. This is why I don't like talking about this. I'm just like, can we just wait until like all this is settled?
No, you gotta know beforehand, so you know what the goal is.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
The Raiders clinch with a win. If they tie, which they're playing the Chargers, right?
Yes.
This will be crazy because this is like you were talking about. This is a playoff game. This is win and you're in. So if the Raiders win, they're in. If Chargers win, they're in.
Or if the Jags beat the Colts, they can tie. And they're both in. So that's the whole conspiracy. They're like, if that happens, are they just going to both need the ball? But both the coaches said they're not doing that, which Roger Goodell definitely told them that. They're like, you're not doing it. So that's
very interesting. But yeah, it does say that they could win, they can tie, and the Colts lose. Or this is for the Raiders. They can tie and the Colts lose, or Colts lose and Steelers lose, and then they're in.
Interesting.
It says Chargers are in with a win or a tie. Steelers will clinch if they win and Colts lose, and the Chargers Raiders doesn't end in a tie. I don't even know. I don't want to go through all this, but we could also talk about how we could get the AFC 1 seed. There's like 10 different scenarios. This is kind of crazy. It looks like Titans, Chiefs, Bengals, and Patriots could all theoretically get the 1 seed in the bye.
Interesting.
If a bunch of stuff goes wrong, but I don't want to go through all that.
Yeah. Bills, Patriots are still after the division.
Yep, this says AFC East title. Bills clinch with a win or a Patriots loss, and then the Patriots will clinch with a win and a Bills loss. So that's about it for what's going on in the playoffs. Like I said, there are 3 spots open right now? 1 in the NFC, 2 in the AFC. Let's see what happens.
I got a question for you.
For me.
Super Bowl prediction. Who's in it as of right now?
I mean, it was probably the same as my pick last year, which was Packers Chiefs.
I was thinking the same thing.
But I don't think I want it to be.
Why? That'd be sick.
Actually, that'd be a lot better than.
It's too good.
If I'm being completely honest, as we all know on the pod, I'm a Tom Brady hater. So as long as that man is not playing in the game, I'll be okay. I don't really care. I
Yeah,
just don't want to watch him win another one. I can't.
I want it. I want either.
It's not fun.
That Super Bowl would be cool too, because I'd be cool with either one of them.
Exactly. I'm kind of like I'd like to see Mahomes win another one because I love my boy Mahomes, but also you cut out. What'd you say?
So we love Patty over here.
Oh yeah, I've been in his locker. I sniffed it, so it smells like Head and Shoulders.
Oh, interesting. But
Okay,
yeah, too good to be
I
true.
guess we're done with NFL. Sorry that took so long. Let's move on to college. TMI, I have to pee, so you can start your intro, and I'll be right back.
National championship, Indy, Alabama and Georgia both dominate. Walker, what do you think about the game? At these opinion. But yeah, they both dominated. I don't know what to say right now. There was a short intro. So we're just gonna wait here. Yeah. Waiting for Walker. It's chilling. Up there you are. Yeah. I was
Boom, baby.
a short intro. I kind of didn't know what to do.
When I was gone.
Yeah. Well, the short intro. I just said watching to find out, actually.
Alrighty. Well,
National
I mean, obviously, we got to do our recap of last week. So, got to talk about Orange Bowl and Cincinnati Bama.
All right. Orange Bowl, Georgia dominates. What was it, 34-11? Am I right?
Yeah, even though that
Oh,
Michigan got 8 in like the last minute or something, and I was kind of like, come on, guys.
Yeah. So I was there. Great weather. Places in the middle of nowhere, but cool stadium. I'll say that. I'll say before the game, we weren't there like in the pregame activities for like too long because we had to drive all the way from Orlando to our hotel and then our hotel to the stadium. The stadium was like 30 minutes away. Not to mention there was traffic, so it took a little longer. So we weren't there the whole time. But in the like an hour of just kind of like, doing whatever. I hate Michigan fans. They suck.
Why?
Oh, they were so cocky and they were just talking hella shit. And I'm just like, okay, shut up. And then we killed them. And it was awesome. So I was never a Michigan guy. I didn't like Michigan too much. I actually don't like them at all. But I don't like them because when I was younger, everybody hated them. So that was why. I see now why. They suck. So
Like I said, I sat on the pod. I said I feel like we're built very similarly, and the way our team, just is structured. And I said ours is better. So even though I predicted the score to be a lot closer, I kind of thought,
well,
I don't know what I expected. We look way better than them, though.
yeah. Well, it's like what we discussed. It's like after the Bama game, we weren't sure how good we are. Alabama was
Exactly.
the team that played, and we got destroyed. So I didn't know, to be honest. But I think after that game, we see that we're obviously top two.
Yeah.
I don't think that's much of a debate. But
Right.
how about you can go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I definitely agree that despite any of our biases or anyone's personal feelings about SEC, I've been hearing that a lot.
Oh yeah,
The best two teams are in the national championship, and you can't tell me otherwise right now.
The stupid bowl record. Nobody cares. Like, you think LSU counts? They had a wide receiver at quarterback. Yeah, they're gonna lose. Like, nobody cares.
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I think.
But is the SEC a little top heavy this year? Sure, but like they're still the best conference. I don't think.
Right. I was gonna like I said, best two teams are playing in the Natty. That's all that matters.
Mhm.
And anyone who's mad about it, well, guess what? You're not in the Natty. So shut up.
Should have had Michigan or Cincinnati win. Oh well. and they both got killed. But I don't think much of debate after that.
Yep.
But like I think I said this last week. I said logic says we should win, but like I said with the Bama game, I don't know.
Yeah. Can't trust logic anymore.
But anyways,
Yeah.
how about Stetson Bennett?
Yeah. I mean, we were texting during the game. You were saying it was his best game of the season, and I definitely agreed.
I gotta give it to him.
Out.
I gotta give it to him because the whole month after the Bama game, you just heard like people like basically saying JT should start for the most part. And there's a lot of Stetson slander out there, and we were a part of it. But good for him for tuning out the noise because that was a whole month long. It wasn't like a week, and then he went out there and proved himself or had a good.
I mean,
why did they hate? It was a whole month, and then he has.
Well, I was gonna say you've heard the thing. Stetson has a flip phone, right? So he's not hearing anything. He probably doesn't have any social media.
We still know, but
he probably does.
Either way, you can't tell me like that wasn't in the back of his mind. But
right.
Then he went. He was great. He was great. Now, will I say it was a situation where he didn't have to throw and he played the game where he was winning the whole time, just making good decisions and everything like that? Yeah.
That's getting a little preview into my take for later.
That's the question. That's been the question. That when we got to throw, can we do it? But a little fun back thing too. Clark Minor, as you remember, former guest,
friend of the pod.
We were at the game with each other. We were saying with each other. We both said, first drive is going to tell us everything about this game. And then we just went down and scored a little too easy. We're like, we're not trusting it yet, though. But that just after that first drive, like the non-bot, that was too easy.
He scored on our first 5, I think, right? At least a field goal. Yeah.
Defense was dominant. They got the McNamara and everything. It was just Aiden Hutchinson didn't do anything.
No.
The other guy didn't do nothing either, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a play from that, what's his name, Ojabo or whatever. He on Twitter right now of him like running around Sawyer basically.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of like, his highlight play, he didn't even get to the quarterback, dude.
Yeah, they didn't do nothing, so those guys got shut down. Just not much to complain about.
I definitely agree.
Play by Kenny McIntosh too.
That was a great throw.
Oh yeah, I know. James Cook said something. He's like, we're not really doing this. He hasn't thrown a good pass all week.
Yeah, that's funny.
But domination. Not really much else to say. It was just one of those games where I was just chillaxing the whole time. I didn't have to worry about it.
For sure. I felt good, a couple beers in, and I was watching my team just, like you said, dominate. Everything looked easy.
Did really look easy.
Didn't struggle for a second. I feel like that whole game. So
no, just right from the
speaking of domination and kind of moving on. Alabama opening up with 10 straight runs to get the ball down to like the 8-yard line and then throwing an easy pass. I knew that game was over. They were literally playing with their food, or you know what I mean?
Well, Cincinnati's defense ended up not playing that bad, honestly.
Yeah.
It was their offense that wasn't doing anything. Their offense wasn't giving them no favors or didn't take advantage of the stuff.
They didn't score, did they? Or they got a field goal?
Points. There was one point where they could have had a touchdown, but it got tipped to the line. The muff punt from Alabama that they recovered their own muff punt. That could have been a big play. They got a pick, and then Cincinnati ended up not doing anything.
Right.
It's one of those games where Cincinnati put in a lot of effort, I think. They tried
for no reward.
They tried their hardest. They gave them their best shot, but it was just Alabama. It was.
Yeah, I think the moral of that story was they couldn't stop that run game, and Alabama just took advantage of it. They're like, we're literally just going to run every single play. That, what's his name, Robinson had over 200 rushing yards.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think any of them were like huge runs, like they were just like, he was just chunking the whole game. Couldn't do anything.
And they can win in different ways, but
that's what's scary about them.
Yeah, no.
is that they beat us passing every single play, and then they go and beat Cincinnati running every single play. So
Two undefeated teams left at that point.
right.
Well, anyways, well that's it for the pod. I'm Jordan.
See you next time.
Wait,
What?
it's another game.
What? There is?
Yes, yes.
What? Which one is it, Jordan?
The national championship.
The national championship.
Yes.
Who's
Playoff.
playing in it?
Alabama, of course. They've been there many times and won many times. But also our dogs. Our
Go
dogs
dog.
bark. A lot of barking around in Indy right now.
Oh, you can't see my mouse pad. Well,
I kind of saw it first. There you go.
there it is.
But yes, a lot of barking going on in Indy. Championship rematch of 2017. Georgia, Alabama, Stetson Bennett, Bryce Young, Kirby Smart, Nick Saban. Let's just get straight to it. What do you got?
I'm going.
Just,
Well, I think it's kind of what we
just your
okay.
preview, keys to the game, headlines,
Well, I mean,
anything.
keys to the game are gonna be, containing Bryce Young. Can't let him throw for 450 yards. You just can't. We're not gonna win that.
No.
Also, I just think, like we kind of alluded to earlier, and the best way, or Georgia's best chance of victory has got to be, we have to build a lead and we got to keep it. I mean, Stetson plays best when, like you said, he's playing from ahead when he doesn't have to throw it. You know what I mean? So I think the key to this game is going to be to, I don't know, not play from behind. I know that sounds stupid, but also don't turn the ball over either. I mean, we have to get the ball and we got to chunk. We got to keep chopping. I don't care if we're doing 3-yard little runs every single play. Just we got to score touchdowns too. No field goals.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Get Bryce Young down. I'm just kind of looking at the two biggest things from the SEC championship that, like,
no sacks.
If we do that again, we are 100% not winning. And that is 0 sacks. And that is 3 yards. We average 3 yards a carry. That absolutely cannot happen. Or we will 100% lose. We
also can't give them the easy stuff. The whole time in the SEC championship, they ran a ton of little like bubble screens, and then their receiver was like catching the ball at or behind the line of scrimmage, and he was running like 12 yards. And I was like, dude, can't do that. Got to make that tackle at the line.
Yeah, but I say that's the two biggest things. We got to get the Bryce Young. Like you said, it felt like the SEC championship be just chilling back there.
Yeah.
Like,
it's way too easy.
And basically, like you said, with like having a lead and keeping it, that's going to rely on the run game. Like the Stetson cannot be out there throwing it 40 times.
Stetson could be part of that run game though. Like I want him to scramble and get his 8-9 yards. Like,
yeah,
go for it.
He just can't be like throwing. Can't be. We can't like be forced to throw with him the whole game. He can make plays when that's at points when we do have to throw, but it can't be consistently. We need Zeus to step up and need James to step up. James had a great game. He's got to step up. He's got to help in the passing game. We need to throw to George. Throw to George. He only had 1 catch last week again.
Yeah.
Throw him the freaking ball. Throw him the ball, please. One of Alabama's corners are out, I think. So throw some freaking jump balls.
We have to get our mental right too. I feel like that's not being looked at as much, but we cannot be scared going into this game. Like, we have to, like, our whole team needs to not like think they're gonna win. They need to know they're gonna win. I feel like that's the only way they're gonna.
And I definitely think they do. But I'll say this, I was listening to another pod, Late Night Kick, with Josh Pate, friends of the podcast. And he said this, he said, Alabama, when they were down 10-0, like obviously like still believed and whatever. And they like showed that they could come back and all that kind of stuff. what happens to us psychologically if we're down 10-0 national championship? We're like, not again. Oh, these guys again. Oh, we can never beat these guys. Yada yada yada. Can we still believe?
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of
That'd be interesting. And another thing he said too was that I thought was interesting. He said, "Could this be a must-win for Georgia?" He said not. He said not that the like did it like we're not going to win a national championship if we don't like win this like ever. But he was saying it's like it's all set up, like it's all right there. Like this is the best opportunity. Alabama's young. They got some injuries. Mechie's out. Some of their linemen are out. They got a corner out. We're going to be probably the most experienced team that Kirby might have. And let's be honest, we had a pretty easy road to the championship, to be honest. And it just all kind of set up right there. Like,
yeah,
the golden chance.
yeah. We've been talking about that since the beginning too.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could probably go back to like our first or second pod, and we were kind of like, the stars are literally like all we have to do is not mess up. Like it's being presented right in front of us, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Let's just not blow it.
It's hard. It's hard. I say it all the time. It's hard to beat a good team twice. So
I said,
adjustments off the first one. I don't think I think Brian Robinson being healthy might low key help in a way that they're gonna like obviously pass it less, and I think we're good at stopping the run. So
you got to think. You have to think that the dogs are hungrier. They have to be.
Yes.
I mean, Bama won literally last year. They win what seems like every year. Like, come on. I feel like we have to play with just not just fire. We have to play with like the fire of the whole sun.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God.
I was texting Jordan about it. I said, this is the spirit bomb, guys, for Dragon Ball Z fans out there.
Please.
We got to blow this guy up. It's going to take everyone. It's going to take everyone's energy. Put your hands in the air for Georgia to do this. We need it.
God, Monday's going to be terrible. It's going to suck working. I'm going to be just sitting around just thinking about it the whole damn game. I'm not getting my hopes up, to be honest. Like but I feel and it was the same thing against Michigan. Like I was kind of like, we'll see what happens kind of thing. Like if we lose, I'll see it coming, basically. Like I don't entirely think we're going to win, but I'm kind of expecting a stressful game, and I'm kind of expecting us to realistically very possible that we could lose. Same with this, like the SEC championship. I did really think I'm like, I could see Bama win definitely, but I feel good going into it. This game, I just feel kind of like nothing.
That's what you say now. Wait until Monday.
Yeah, I know. But hey, to be fair, Michigan, I felt the same way. I just felt nothing going in. Like I felt nervous, but like I still wasn't like hype per se. Like we could do this, yeah. You know what I mean?
I think that just comes with like the just natural cynicism of being a Georgia fan. Is you're never gonna get overly confident about anything because
what reason
where does it lead you?
What reason do I have to be confident? To be
right.
honest? Like what reason? What is there? We're 0-4 against Saban. We just got smacked earlier in the year. We can't beat these guys. We're Georgia. It seems the heartbreak happens all the time. What reason do I have to have hope right now? I mean, maybe during the game that's going to switch if we're playing well or something like that. But going into it, I don't know. But
it's only one game. It's 4 quarters. I mean, there's the stat that's going around that right now that says we've been.
Well, I look back on like this, like, you know, sometimes it's like a game, like one play, like changes everything. What about Bryce Young's fumble right before the half that Nolan tried to like scoop up instead of falling on? Bryce gets it back. And then right before the half, Bryce Young ends up scoring. Alabama leads going into half.
Right.
Like, what if we got that? And then maybe Stetson got us a field goal right before half or something. Who knows how the game would turn out?
I was gonna say
That's a 10-point swing.
yeah, I mean, just well, that I'm glad you brought that up. That second quarter in general. I mean, obviously,
It was third.
Bama beat us.
It was third down.
Bama beat us by 21 points, but also they scored like 21 or 28 points or something like that just in the second quarter alone. And it's kind of like if you look at every game we play, obviously, like they've beaten us every time. But I saw a terrible stat that made me cry that said we've either been in the lead or tied for 71% of those last 4 games we've lost.
Jeez.
Yeah. And we've lost all of them.
God. Yeah. And the Jameson Williams play was third down on his long touchdown. The first. What if we got a stop or with a bad throw or a false start or what?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, if you look at our entire season, and like I said, not making excuses, they kind of blew us out. But also, like, I really feel like Georgia played one bad quarter of football. You know what I mean? Like, that was the only one where, like, that second quarter against Bama was the only time we were just, like, really just terribly exposed, I feel like. We just fell apart. Something happened. I don't know, schematically or play calling. I don't know. But that's what I'm holding on to right now, even if it's the H word, hope. We don't want to talk about it, but my whole thing is, I think I spoke on it on the last pod though, is that Kirby mentioned, he said, I don't know, some of the players said they switched everything up for that game. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm thinking of, is like, oh, they tried to switch everything up just for Bama and it was confusing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. I think it'll be close. And hopefully it doesn't end in another terrible heartbreak.
I think no matter what the scenario, it's either going to be a heartbreak or a blowout. They're both going to suck a lot.
Yeah.
So
I feel, honestly, I feel like
last pod he said, like, if we're gonna lose, let it be last week, because I don't know what I would do if we lost to Bama again.
My thing is if this ends up being another game where we go up, I don't know, 10, 14 points and then choke it away at the very end, I don't know if I can take it. I'm not gonna lie. We might have to cancel the pod.
Well, yeah, honestly, I don't know what I would do. But I do want to say this. If we gotta do next episode on Pod Tuesday.
Okay, we're gonna try to do that, guys. No promises, but yeah, we're gonna try to get as close as we can to our raw emotions, because I remember we waited like 3 weeks or something after the SEC championship, so that's not gonna happen this time.
All right, well, let's try to wrap this up. Predictions. What is yours? Just everything. Do you think this will happen? You think that will happen? What are the keys? What is the difference? Score?
I think it's going to be one of those heavyweight fights. I think we're going to go blow for blow, I think it's going to go touchdown, 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 touchdown kind of game. And it's going to be tough. I think I'm just going to say we edge them out by a field goal. 27-24. Actually, it's probably going to be higher scoring than that, but something like that.
I actually have the opposite kind of look. I think it's going to be lower scoring.
Interesting.
I think it'll be like in the lower 20s, to be honest. I'm going to say,
I think it'll be more conservative game.
I think the defense is going to play better, to be honest. I
it's
think,
hard to play worse. I mean,
yeah, true, but I'll say significantly better. I think Mechie out is pretty big, to be honest. As Jameson Williams is a beast, but now we can like just focus on him, kind of thing.
Yeah, we might need 2 people on him like every play.
I don't think I just don't think I think we'll actually can get to Bryce Young this time, or at least more than before. I think the run game will be better. I just think we'll improve. But like I said a few minutes ago, what reason do I have that I think we're going to win? We just got blown out. Nick Saban's on that other side. I would say Alabama has probably the three of the best five players on the field with, or two of the best five, two of the top three players on the field with Bryce Young and Willie Anderson.
Yeah.
They got Nick Saban. So probably the three most important. So they got the better coach, they got the better quarterback. Logic says Bama. And I'm gonna pick Alabama because I'm not getting my hopes up. I've done it twice already with the SEC championship in Clemson, so I'm 1-for-1. Alabama 23-20. I think it'll be field goal back. I feel like it's gonna be lower score. I think both defenses do well. It's more of our game, but at the end of the day, Bryce Young is over Stetson kind of thing. So
And I can't really argue with you there, but
like what reason do I have? And I'm not getting my hope,
magic. We need black magic.
You really do.
We need the like, what is it called? I don't even know. We need the heart factor. You know what I mean? We need the David versus Goliath. Like, there should be no reason David would ever beat Goliath.
Conspiracy too. We're favored by 2.5. And it's kind of one of those things where like, why would you think that? I know for a fact because Brian Robinson said after the Cincinnati game, basically like, we're going to repeat. He basically said that. And I think Nick Saban didn't like that. Put a whole bunch of money on Georgia after the game. So the line would go up, and so he can use it as rat poison. So Alabama, because they were talking about the first time, they're like, "Oh, we felt like the underdog, like nobody believed in us." And I think Nick Saban's trying to do that again because now they're cocky after the Cincinnati and Georgia win.
That's what I was talking about earlier about being hungry. I was like, this is another thing though, and I'll give props to Alabama for this, is having so much success, winning so many championships. For Nick Saban, how does he keep his players so motivated? You know what I mean? Like, how does he keep them hungry? It's kind of crazy. I don't know.
The things, if it's like Nick Saban says, "Shut the hell up, you guys haven't done shit," or like, "Stop being so cocky, we're not that good," I would probably listen to him. I was watching the little Man in Arena thing, the Tom Brady thing, and this was when they had like that 20-something game winning streak from like last year into the next year. And they ended up getting blown out by the Steelers for that, the win streak to be snapped. And basically Tom was saying Bill Belichick was like, you just used it to get like everything out. That was just like, just say, this is why we suck, basically. And it was like, you guys had this couldn't get it, where you guys were like 3 for 13 on third down. Defense gives up 3 touchdowns in the freaking red zone, and just like complain about every little thing. And just like, I feel like it's kind of like one of those things too, where you just like, okay, yeah, after the A&M game maybe too, where you're just like, okay, shut up kind of thing.
But conversely, you could say the same thing might have happened for Georgia. We lose the SEC championship, and Kirby's like, you guys aren't the number 1 team in the country. Go earn it.
Exactly. So, and I get, not to say like Georgia wasn't motivated or anything, but let's be honest, when you feel like you got the championship locked up, I mean, you're definitely not as tense as you would be in the national championship. Right. Like, not to say they weren't motivated, they didn't want to win or something like that, but it's kind of like on a different kind of like level, right? So maybe that's got to do with it too, but we'll see. Monday night, I'll be in Athens watching the game. David, friend of the podcast, is going to be at the game. Walker's going to be in Atlanta, and
we'll see.
Hopefully I don't die.
I'll probably be in Atlanta though, yeah.
Hopefully I don't kill myself.
Well, I think I'm watching on my rooftop, so 26 floors. I could just jump over the edge.
Oh yeah, right there. Nice strategy thinking.
Yep. I mean, I'm picking that spot. Anyway, that being said, just like AB, peace. We're out of here.
Yes, sir.